That's easier. That's easy, Mr. Goblin. How you doing, my sweet? Posting the stream to every channel I can. So we back with more of this. More bad guys. This time. Resident Evil Village seems like it has a big lady on it, but no. We got the biggest lady. Seems like my pen has disconnected. Let's see how that works. Interesting. So we can get it all back. Immediately, I think my Procreate has crashed. Is it back? It feels back. There we go. We're alright. This is like 10 seconds away from becoming another impromptu Darkest Dungeon stream. It's fine, we figured it out. It's mostly fine. But how you doing, my dude? Are you any more awake than this morning? Yeah, Doom Goblin classically dooming everything he touches. Let's and that's all we want. Let's crack on with this. I think it would be possibly tighter. It's very quickly turning into one of those weeks, isn't it? But it's alright. The day's over, it's all chill time now. Have the pre-Eurovision adrenaline rush. Man, you really do get amped up for it, like some people get amped for sports. Oh, so I'm competing for your attention. How's this for competing? I know where you live. If I don't win, then I basically just quit Twitch. That's all I can do. To be fair, yeah, it is very much like the campy Olympics. Even the Olympics is kind of campy. If we, like, as far as sports go, like there's no like football style like macho like testosteronisms for the Olympics like there would be for the Football World Cup. I suppose if like the Football World Cup is like this the straight Olympics, then you've got the you've got Eurovision being the gay Olympics, and then you've got the Olympics probably being the ace Olympics. Like the Olympics are pretty cut and dry, like we're about the sports and nothing else. The dressage is up there. The Winter Olympics. I mean, is there like a dressage tournament like that goes on once a year? That like properly compares? The sports and the sponsors. I mean, even then, I've never noticed the sponsors nearly as much as I do in like if I ever catch like a glimpse of like like anything to do with football. The sponsors seem to be way on it on those competitions, more so than the Olympics. Although that might just be me and how I sort of see those events. Dressage is an official Olympic sport. Is there Olympic football? I can't remember. I can't remember like how much it gets into like team games. Also, did they add skateboarding into the Olympics at one point? I believe there is. The Japan Olympics meant to be the first for skateboarding. Oh, is it still like? Because I thought it was like at the height of like the Tony Hawk era, like of PlayStation games. Like when skating was really having its, I think what you would call it its renaissance, but maybe not. I'll Google it. In 2020 is a new one. Street and park, brilliant. And and they've got male and female teams. I feel like there's in the sort of like gender dispute between bodies, skateboarding doesn't really hand off to one or the other. Like it's all body weight stuff, body and balance. Like surely there's not a huge gender disparity there. You could have mixed teams. I feel like without much controversy, whatever. Always tip your goblin. It's always important to tip your goblin, otherwise they'll raid your town in the middle of the night. Toss a coin to your goblin. Saying that, I just got a notification saying a game on my wish list is on sale, and it's The Witcher. Apparently, The Witcher, like the first one, is on sale at the moment. So apparently now's a good time to pick it up. That is a game series I tried and did not get very far into. It was a bit of a cold start. Keon, my man, how you doing? Yeah, so I tried The Witcher 3, and it was a bit of a cold start. It was basically, hey, we're already going full pace. If you don't know where you are, that's your fault. And I was completely new to the series, going like, I need some sort of an introduction. I'm only vaguely aware of what a Geralt is. I don't know, like, apparently Gwent is a thing as well, and are we fighting? Like, is that like a turn-based combat system? What's going on? Is it all card-based combat? But no, it jumped around. You were at this big castle training this little girl, and then you flash forward, and you're looking for someone. I'm not sure who. Now, having watched the Witcher TV show, I know a little bit more. But at the time, it was just like, I am lost, and the game is not making any effort to get me up to speed. So unfortunately, you have lost me. So I still have the Game of the Year edition PS4 version. Like, there I'm ready to go, but I think I want to play the first two first to like really get into it. Although the Netflix show definitely helped like educate me on what is going on and what the hell a Witcher is and why is a Witcher and who is a Witcher and why we want to toss a coin to them and things like that. I do not know what you're saying, Honky. That is... I'm sure it's a reference to something, but I am woefully uneducated. But hey, it's good to see you anyway. And Keon, how's your day been going? Or are you just waking up? No, you're a few hours behind, so it's what, early afternoon for you? Yeah, right, there's definitely letters in that message, but in terms of meaning, like, it's out there, man. You're on your lunch break. Excellent. How is the new job? I'm sure I've asked before. And it seems like they give you lunch breaks, which is good. That's a plus. I've known a few places to try and skirt around lunch breaks. Just heinous. But I made a rash choice this week. It was completely unplanned. I'm not used to how relaxed and friendly everyone is. You have trust issues, so I'm waiting for the catch, and maybe there isn't even one. I mean, that's the dream. If everyone's really nice, be careful of what they start asking. If they're all friendly, and then they start asking for more and more and more, and then it becomes like rude to say no. That's what my workplace has done, and so now I'm known as like the rude one because I'll tell people to get fucked rather than actually do extra work. Like, I'm not going to cover for someone else's failings. Yeah, definitely set boundaries. It was like very briefly at the beginning of 2020 when we all started working from home. My job sort of went, if you want to like work till 7 or if you want to like work Saturdays, then we're not going to tell you no. And he was like, no, you're already in my living room. You don't get to like invade my weekend as well. Oh, you beautiful Westerworld eucalyptus candy. I mean, it seems complimentary, I'll take it. It's a good translation. COVID has given you trust issues. Yeah. COVID in general has just like lowered the bar in terms of like what you feel about other people. Like, I already didn't like spending much time with the general public, and since COVID, they've removed all doubt that at any point everyone could be a bastard for no reason. Dude, same. I haven't had a cold in so long. It's great, and I used to do like a lot of comic book conventions, like exhibiting work and stuff like that. Like Conflu is a legit like threat. Like, I would do like 6 shows a year, and I'd come home and get a cold from each and every one. So I was sick like 6 times a year, and I feel like that's quite a lot for just like common colds. But since masks became like common practice, not a single cold, and it's been the best. I don't know, I just feel like eucalyptus. You feel like eucalyptus bonbons. Hey, bye. How you doing, man? Did you manage to get home alright, or were you swept away in the rain? Right, where are we bringing this? Eucalyptus bonbon. Is that today's vibe? Is eucalyptus bonbon? Or have you discovered a flavour sensation? Yeah, I was not ready for the weather today. When I stepped outside, it was relatively warm. It was dry. I was in shorts and a shirt, and halfway around the park walking the dog, the sky just cracked in half, and just like bucketed water down on me. It's like, and then was absolutely soaked by the time I got home. So I did my hair good and everything. I was really happy with it, but no, rained off. I think this actually needs to come further down. Yeah, that's a much better line. Dude, I'm convinced we're not getting a summer this year. We haven't earned it. People haven't been good enough to people to warrant the summer. Doom Goblin, are you slyly putting in that all of your emotes got okayed? Because maybe you should put them all in the chat. See how it looks. Yeah, we're floating around. Fucking goblin horde. Actually, this is not looking how I wanted it to at all. I feel like you're in WoW right now. Feels like just armies of like Gobbos and Gretchen, 40k, and Warhammer Fantasy Battles. But yeah, I was saying I was very irresponsible early this week and ended up picking up the Mass Effect Legendary bundle because it was just shiny and I needed to hear Rex just awkwardly go Shepard again. Like, I haven't had it in my life for so long, and I miss Rex. I miss Garrus, my boys. So is eucalyptus bonbon like German code for being high? I feel like it might be. Just wait until payday. Mate, I just bashed it on the credit card, I'm not gonna lie. I needed it. I couldn't not. And my partner was wanting was it Wrath of the Druids? I was actually just candy normally used to help with sore throats. Makes sense. Your credit card's now out of the interest-free period. Well, it's time to get a new one. Cancel that one and get a different one. That's what you do. That's how you do. The old credit card shuffle. You need to be safe for the landlord to take away the old ones. Yeah, fair enough. A new sofa will transform your life. It's weird how transformative like one piece of furniture can be, but like you will never leave it. As long as you promise me you never work from the new sofa, don't taint it with working from home stuff. It's for downtime and downtime only. Waiting to start the new one. Can't wait to know which one. Finally, a corner sofa from fabric, not shitty faux leather. Fabric is great, but be careful, don't spill shit on it, because you got to clean that properly. It's not a wiped down surface. And don't be one of those weird old people that cover all their furniture in plastic. Honky, don't come around here saying you're talentless, because talent doesn't exist. It's a complete fabrication. You're only going to be seen as talented as the time you put into it. And take that from someone who has spent a long time being very shit at art and illustration. But yeah, I've made my shepherd. I've just done like the first couple of missions, and already like the nostalgia for Mass Effect is rushing back. Almost like immediately, I benched Caden. I've benched Ashley. I've got Garrus, Rex, and Tali as like my main three to hot swap between. Because if you're in like a galaxy full of weird alien creatures, the last thing you want to have is just a bunch of humans by your side. Like, we see humans in everything. Let's get something different on our team. I don't know if anyone else plays the game, plays it like that, but it's like a very conscious decision for me. Like, unless the humans are given some like proper flavor, like these aren't like the normal humans are just like they fit everything, then they will lose me so fast to another creature or race. Like I get playing a human in a D&D. You want to be like the normal in like this magical world, because like there's a certain wanderlust you can get playing a human, where all the magic is weird and wonderful and you love it all. Whereas if you play like an elf, well, you kind of know magic. Like elves are magic through and through. Like it's never, you can't really play an elf and have the world be new to you. Elves have that sort of default fantasy connotations. So do dwarves, so do halflings, like dragonborn, tieflings, all that sort of stuff. There's a certain level of whimsy that you can't have, whereas with humans you can. But when you're building a squad, like in Dragon Age or in Mass Effect, why would you want a squad of humans? Like they all have like very similar human perspectives. Why not get an alien in there and have like a truly weird and bizarre perspective? It tends to gauge on which characters you like or want to romance. That's also fair. If you're playing those games just for booty calls, it's a valid play style. I wouldn't criticize. I always tend to like shy away from the romances in BioWare games in particular, because I find like I'm not against romancing your party members and stuff like that, but the scenes they animate are always so fucking weird. Like, it's just two game meshes that are sort of just like trying to interact but not quite colliding properly, just rolling off each other. It's like, sure about this. Some of you have been singing in lockdown for a year. Dude, there are websites for that. Like, just go on Pornhub if you want to get your rocks off. Or is it the emotional connection? If it's the emotional connection, just watch The Office again. If you want to sell a proper romance. Also, Caleb, how you doing, man? Is you good? The website's only go so far. It depends on the website. So yeah, and also, I'm falling into old trappings with Mass Effect. I'm not good enough at the shooting, so I fall back onto shotguns and heavy armor. So I'm tough as possible, and I just run in, make sure the reticle has as much of a guy inside it as possible, and just pull the trigger and hope that does it in one shot. So, chewing through my medkits and everything like that. That and trying to play Paragon, but then shit weasels are just going to be shit weasels regardless, and so the renegade options keep happening. Honky, Roll20 exists, man. Get on that. Make yourself some friends. In the day and age of the internet, loneliness is ultimately a choice in terms of friends. If you want to play D&D, Roll20, get on it. Virtually no one's playing face-to-face anymore, so it's as good a D&D experience as you'll ever get. It seems like you and Honky need to talk to each other then. If you want to play some D&D, then you guys might have it. Yeah, I don't think I actually played D&D in almost... It feels like a year now. When was the last time... I probably know when. When was the last one? It was actually turn of the new year, so like 5 months. It feels like a lot longer. It's been 5 months since I played. I don't know. I think, in terms of like DMing, I think I'm done with DMing for a long time. I need my schedule to calm down a lot before I ever look at that again. Not because I dislike it, because it's so much work. Oh my god, Mehmet with a 511. What's going on, my man? It's the very king of Enter the Gungeon himself.
Hello there.
DS Gluttony, thank you very much for the follow, man. Welcome, welcome. How was the all the shenanigans? Thank you, Doomgoblin, for the shouting out Mehmet. Absolutely spot on. That's exactly what I don't pay you for. Alright, dudes and dudettes. For those of you not here earlier, this is what we're drawing tonight. Is Queen of the Storm Giants. Not follow me yet. Oops. It's alright, you fixed it. It's all good. There's no worries there. And since I've got people here, I think it would be a good time to shout out that this very Sunday, Keon, welcome back. It's a party now. This very Sunday, 10 to 10 British Standard Time, will be a Dark Souls 12-hour stream for shits and gigs. It's guaranteed to be a good time. I think I have a couple of goals that I want to achieve. There's a couple of goals I want to achieve on that stream, and it's I want to flip the canvas. Shit. All right. Canvas horizontally. So now she's zooming off in the other direction. So thank you, Mehmet, for. Yes, I am going to be doing that. I have a. I have one that I'm making. Where is it? With the Golden Boys, Ornstein and Smaug. Tag you in case. I'll tag everyone I see, man. Tragically, you can't at everyone on like Twitter and Instagram. Honky wants a compliment. I love your dedication to supporting small streamers. It is honestly fantastic to have someone be active in so many chats and see someone liberally sprinkling themselves across Twitch. What happens when two people redeem flip canvas at the same time? They cancel each other out. I just hammer it for like 30 seconds, and wherever it lands is wherever it lands. Rat! How's it going, man? But yeah, Sunday, it's going to be, I think it's going to be, like, probably, like, giving away a sub or two, like, per boss killed. I think I need to figure out something to do on a death as well. And I might have a sub goal to unlock the next emote slot. Oh, thank you, Honky. We're good, we're jamming a little party. Gift sub upon death. I think that's gonna like fucking ruin me. Because am I thinking right that even as a creator, you still gotta pay Twitch to gift a sub to your own channel? So I believe that is true. Ooh, Rat's redeemed curse. Rat, your curse is the next time you post one of your much loved and messages of love and affirmation and like positive energy in a chat, it will be auto modded out. It will not happen. In one sub tomorrow. They're gonna need a double dose. So man, it's a rough curse, but you paid the points, man. Hardcore. I mean, it's escalated slightly since since giving like I think I gave someone like a paper cut, and I caused the next Pokemon move in their stream to miss. So it has sort of escalated. I've become slightly more powerful. So Rat, you become a character. So that is I can't put it into effect now. But in the next game I play, where you can name things, you will be top of the list to get in there. So that will be Darkest Dungeon on Saturday, mid-afternoon for us. Rat, where are you based? What's your time zone? Taste buds in their anus. Oh, mate. Although it means using a cucumber as a dildo is a much more viable option. MST. So what's that? You're like GMT plus 5 or 6? So I'm not sure if my Darkest Dungeon stream will have you awake for it. So is that 9 hours? Fuck. Yeah, okay. It's currently 1 in the afternoon for you. Yeah, I don't know what your sleep schedule's like, but chances are, I think you might be asleep for when we redeem your character. But if you are familiar with Darkest Dungeon at all, then you will have to let me know what kind of character you would want, what class of character you'd want to be from the base game, because I don't have the DLCs. So Rand and Gluttony are basically neighbours, time zone neighbours. Thank you, man. I'm slowly getting better at accepting compliments with like artwork and stuff. It's still very, very new to me. Let's actually finish that line off and that line. Is it the entirety of the US that is in the chat at the moment? Well, that's weird, like knowing that I'm at a similar level as someone who would be classed as a mentor, because I am very much self-taught. I never took art at like school or anything like that, and even then at uni I did games concept design, so designing characters, designing environments, things like that. There wasn't any like real like painting or illustration done there. It was a lot of 3D modeling, so not stuff that I really wanted to do. So I would say I'm definitely very self-taught. And that would either make or break me as like if I wanted to become like a mentor. I don't know how I'd teach it to anyone. You're meant as a published comic book artist. Fair enough. That is high fucking praise indeed. But I'll take it. I like the comparison. Right, I think that is the helmet done, and then we can move on. So we've got a fuckload of characters left to do. Oh, there's another goblin. Hickoran, thank you very much for the follow. How's it going? Dude, get to it, man. Get to your drawing, absolutely. So I very much welcome the new goblin in town. I hope you gel well with the current goblin, Sheriff. Doom Goblin. I'm sure you guys will get along. Goblin clans before long. Destroying the countryside. But yeah, I was saying before, and I keep getting distracted because, honestly, I know we were talking about it before, but there is mounting evidence that I may need to get diagnosed with ADHD sooner rather than later, just so I can actually put a name to all this brain spaghetti, I'll call it. But yeah, I have for the Dark Souls stream, I think it will be like a gifted sub for every boss killed, and then like a sub goal to unlock the next sub emote, because there's one I want to do, just a rip in peace, or a rip emote for when I die again and again and again in lots of games that I play. But Hickuran, how you doing, my man? Been thinking about asking you GP. Ask away, man. Like, you get nothing for not asking. For me, I need to register with a GP again. Mine is still out in Tewkesbury, and I've not lived there in like 5 years. So I don't know if you ever fall off a GP's systems or not, but I've not talked to my GP in forever. So I probably need to get on that sooner rather than later. A GP is like a general practitioner. So in the UK, like for an emergency or something like that, you would go straight to a hospital. But a GP is literally general practitioner. They are sort of like a catch-all. So if you go, I've got a thing, I'm not sure what it is, or it's like a low-level thing, or it's not an emergency, or if it's something to do with like a family, if you have like a family doctor, that'll typically be a GP. They're like a first point of contact for any non-emergency medical issue. Is hospital then bankrupt? Yeah. I don't envy you with the American medical system. It is heinous, to say the very least. In the UK, we just wait 6 months and then die of our elements. No, there is a joke in the UK that we feel ill, or we have some sort of like medical thing going on, and we'll make the appointment, and then we'll start to feel better because it'll be like 6 weeks until we actually get to anything. Oh, look at these goblins chilling out in the chat. Dead rat. So yeah, there's a lot of like doctor guilt in the UK. Of like, you don't, like, you know, like we all know the National Health Service is strained at any one time, even before like COVID in 2020 and everything like that. The NHS was always underfunded. So we try not to use it as much as possible. We try not to be a hindrance because we're all very British and very polite. So we get this weird guilt that sets in, where you make the appointment and then like 3 weeks later you start to feel a lot better and you go, maybe I should not, I don't need to see a doctor anymore, I don't need to waste their time, maybe I should not. And then you either stick it out and actually go there and you're fine, or you cancel it and then it comes back and you go, fuck, I've got to make the appointment all over again. You're on their GP system forever. So I think my GP might have closed down. I don't know if it's there anymore, because Tewkesbury is very small, has a very like elderly population, so there's not a lot of people left in Tewkesbury. So maybe they've passed it on to like the closest alternative. I don't know. Maybe that's a job for probably not this weekend. This weekend's probably gonna be quite busy. shit if, because I'll rep the mod a little bit as well, the Doom Goblin. Yeah, I should. I know I should. I did try. When was it? Like probably like 6-7 months ago. I downloaded all the forms off the website of this GP, and I went there and I said, "Here's my forms. I'd like to register," and they went, "Oh, these aren't the forms. You need this set of forms. Go on, fuck off." I was like, "Cool," and then it's never happened again for 6 months. Not a good excuse, I am well aware, but it is my excuse, and it's all I have. Because then I just get distracted by other things. I'm always good at giving advice, never taking it or like acting on it. But yeah, that's what happened last time I tried to go to a GP. Is they told me in no uncertain terms, piss off. And here's extra forms. I remember you forced a friend to book a dentist appointment. Yeah, target number 2. Well, that friend has booked a dentist appointment, so that would make me target number 1. Currently, there is no target. I need to remember, like, so that's like, who is my GP, and I have no idea who they are, like, what the doctor actually is, like who they were. Yeah. I used to do them a lot on my Instagram, like time-lapse videos, but I just never, like, I haven't done them in so long. It'd probably be good for like, if I was like to make a break video. So like, if I was to go on like a toilet break or something like that during a stream, I could put that on, and it'd still entertain the boys and girls. But stream maintenance is something I've been needing to get done. Where the hell is that line going? Let's get on as well. Because I am, although I'm on Twitch doing video typey stuff, I would never describe myself as a video editor or as someone that is competent in making video content, really. So I'm very like nervous about making video content. I've tried my hand at some like animation stuff, and as soon as things start moving, that's when my brain sort of checks out and goes, "You don't know any of this. Like, I can do all this, but it stays still, and I can handle it. As soon as things start to move, nah, I don't know what's going on. We're done." It's a very like visceral reaction. But I do need to make more like Instagram content and things like that, so maybe that's the drug I need, is people asking for it. Yeah, I've done 3D animation. I've done sprite work as well. So like, if you're like, I'm sure you're all familiar with like old like SNES games like Mario, Contra, any old Legend of Zelda game. And the way they do animation is they have a bunch of still frames. And what will happen is on screen you'll just flick between those frames really, really quickly, and it'll give the illusion of movement. So I've done sprite sheets like that before, for like some video game projects, But yeah, nothing nothing like proper. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do a maybe I'll do like a learn with me graphic, like a animation stream where we'll start doing some sprite work, because I didn't hate it and I do like pixel art. I've not done any in fucking forever. Let's do it. Like now. I'd be up for doing it. I think it'd be a good laugh. Right, where are we going from here? Let's just finish off this arm, because I feel like that leads into a little dead end in terms of which way I want to go. Oh, this won't get finished tonight. This is way too much to do tonight. I think we'll get a good way into it, because we've got a good chunk of it. Like, I think we'll get the vast majority of the line work done. So I use a program called Procreate because I'm on the iPad. I think it's like £10 or like $12, something like that. So it's relatively cheap in terms of how much illustration packages tend to go for. I'm looking at you, fucking Photoshop and Illustrator. I see you gouging prices everywhere they go. But yeah, Procreate. It's great. It does have animation tools in it as well. Not that I've dabbled with any, but the actual ability is there. They're still it's still a relatively new program. I feel like it's been around for a few years now, but it still feels like it's kind of in its infancy. Just in the way that they sort of add things. Like, for the longest time, there were no tools to do any text at all, and that came in like a year ago. But that was quite a big thing, and then they put animation stuff like that. I think my biggest gripe with Procreate, and it's purely a personal thing, is when I'm moving things around in like a digital canvas. So on the actual page, when I move things around, sometimes I want it to be like pixel perfect. So in Photoshop, which is what I used to use on the PC, you get all those like crunchy numbers of like specifically what pixel by what pixel the current thing you're selected is, and you could like just nudge them along using the arrow keys, and you can be really precise with where things go. With Procreate, you can get things like snapping to borders or snapping to the middle quite easily, but if you need two things to line up pixel perfect, so I'll do it to the camera, if you want it to mix it like pixel perfect, you have to sort of drag it over and hope it sort of lines up, and just like nudge, nudge, nudge. But when you bring the pen off the screen, you will then also nudge it on the way out, which is really frustrating. That's my biggest gripe with it. But other than that, Procreate has been fantastic. Right, there we go. That. This. Some folds of fabric to make sure people know this is fabric. What are we doing with that? But no, I know a lot of people that use Clip Studio, and I've never played around with it myself, purely because I'm a creature of habit, and once I settle into a program, it's hard to shift me. I, as much as I like learning, I don't like learning from the ground up. I feel like that's what you do when you move to a new program or try out a new program. It's immeasurably frustrating for like the first few hours, and then it clicks. And I don't know if I have the patience to like go through those frustrating hours at the moment. So this hand is actually doing something I don't typically like seeing. It's having the little pinky disappear, and it almost makes like you don't know how many fingers the hand has. So it's kind of called like, I guess you call it a Renaissance hand, where you make sure every finger is like visible at every time. So like you make sure every finger is done, and to my knowledge, they do that sort of to make sure that the people seeing the artwork understood the artist knew what a fucking hand looked like. Let's see if it's a Renaissance hand. Hand. So I don't know a lot about art history, but I do know a little bit. And Renaissance hand is making sure every single finger is visible, so you definitely knew the artist knew what a fucking hand was. And it's something I do as well in a lot of my work, is I make sure every single finger is visible, so people don't think, oh, he's missed a finger. He doesn't know what a hand looks like. But you see it all over the place, like every single one of these, every finger is visible. This is a great example right here. All 4 fingers, and this one at the corner has no thumb, and that will be seen as bold. That's a brave step for that artist. So where are we going from here? I'm going to take another swig of water. No worries, man. I usually go until about 10 o'clock. That's my time, so about an hour and a half. It's usually when I if I try and think about my words before I actually say them, is usually how long I'll go for. But no worries, man. Go take care of the day. Or your lunch, whatever it is. That way. There. So I'm doing something with this character that I've done only once before, and I actually really like the effect. And that is giving her a padded jacket. Because there's only one character I've done that with before, and I actually really liked how the effect came out. And once this is done, I'll have to show you what character that actually was. Because texture is something I've really been trying to push of late. With illustration. Where is it? Here it is. So this is one of the characters I did for the Zodiac, and I gave him a padded jacket. And I fucking loved how it came out. I was so happy. And that's something like, as everyone, I think most people in the chat are probably creatives to some degree. It's very rare to do something and go, oh no, I really liked that. I was really happy with how that came out. Because we're all self-deprecating, we're all our own worst critics. But that was something I was like, I did good, I'm happy. I put that like front and center on my portfolio. If it wants to hire me, that's the snippet of illustration I'll send them. Yeah, padded jackets. And I need to figure out a way of drawing tartan as well, without colour. Because if we're not careful, that could just be a big mess of black. Right, let's... get these done, and we can call the centre of the torso done. Becca, my darling, how you doing? Welcome in. How has your day been? How's your week been so far? I'm good. I am still a little bit drying off from being caught in the rain. Walking the dog. The dog nearly got washed away. Okay, the dog's fine. Yeah, I thought I was safe to go outside. But no. Should have stayed inside. I was too brave. I was younger then. I was full of adventure and whimsy. And now I'm just waterlogged and sad. Yeah, we're on our, what's she? I think she's the 5th of our evil queens. Because I was wondering like what to call this set of photos, this set of characters, because I knew they were big bad evil guys. And there's gonna be 6 of them, but I didn't know what they would be called as a group. But now I'm thinking the evil queens is a good name, and fits them all. Because after this Storm Giant, we've got an Archfey left, and then the entire set is done. And I can get all the prints ordered, stick them on Etsy. Actually, that reminds me, just today, I don't know if I have Etsy open on here or not. Google myself all the time. I have. They should be on here now. Is the first 3 characters prints are all online. You can go get them. You can buy them. They're there. It's physical. They're sat in my flat, ready to go. And my favourite at the moment is still the Orc War Chief. He just looks so angry and vicious. Anyway, that's enough self-promotion. They're there if you want. What do you get an order? Man, I would happily fulfill that order as well. No, I realised maybe like a month or 2 ago, on loads of banned bots to keep chat moving a bit. Fair enough. Yeah, I realised I hadn't actually put anything new on Etsy in like a full year. I was like, oh no, I can't let that stand. I spent so much time like making sure that I was like doing my best and sort of like research on Twitch and like restarting any activity on Twitter, because I had Twitter and then I just left it. I couldn't bother with it for like years and years and years. So I was making sure like all that was up to scratch, and I realized, oh, I've just neglected Etsy, that poor sweet website that I try and sell things on. So I'm back on it. I'm definitely doing better with it now. It's getting there. There's a few more pieces to go up, but it's going now. Yeah, it was definitely like head in hands, not like this. The perfect emote for what I was feeling. And then her massive fucking shoulders come over like that. Because this is very high fantasy Romanesque, and there's something the Romans had out a lot. It was the guns and the thighs. They didn't much protect those things. Probably accounts for being so fucking hot. But I feel like a storm giant would also not cover up too much because they don't feel the cold. Why would they need to? They would wear the minimum necessary. So plenty of little flappy armor plates, and then jobs are good. Dude, I've never used a storm giant. The only giants I've really used were in my campaigns were fire giants, and I'm a big fan of playing against type. So they were all the ones that the players met at the very least were all very friendly, very stern, and like commanded a lot of respect, but they weren't bad guys. One of them had basically a full-on like siege cannon in a shield, because why not? They do fire, they do heavy metal. It makes sense that they're gonna have firearms. And what's cooler than like a massive cannon sticking out your shield? Scouty mate, how you doing, man? How has finals week been going? Or is it like finals month? I don't know how long finals actually last for. If you don't want to talk about finals at all, by all means just say no finals chat, please. You're going to a fire giant wedding. That sounds fucking incredible, and I love it. That's the weird shit I miss so much about D&D. It's just, hey look, here's this very normal situation made very fucking weird by the fact that it's on the plane of fire, or something like that. I love it. Like, saving the world is one thing, but negotiating a fire giant wedding, that's the good shit right there. The bride challenged you to a wrestling match. I had one of my favourite campaigns was basically Orc of Thrones. It was a lot of orc tribes coming together to sort of fight over who was going to be the ruling clan. Basically, who was going to be the clan that would sit on the throne and go, oh, we're going to war. And we found out afterwards it was because of the fire giant tradition, the bride has to fight who the groom picks out as the next most attractive person at the wedding. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice compliment of like, oh, here's going to be a challenge, but there's a reason. It's a good reason. Like they've noticed you for a good reason. This week is a whole week. I think the last day I can turn something in is Friday. But I have one test at 5 PM today, an essay and part of an exam tomorrow, and then 2 more exams throughout the week. So it seems pretty like front-loaded, your week. Hopefully your Friday will come swiftly and it's not too hefty then. But these No. I'm always down to talk D&D, we're all figuring out slowly that I might definitely, maybe, possibly, absolutely could have ADHD. So I'm gonna like flick around anyway. But yeah, I invented this game that it was an orc barbecue that the guys were at, and there was plenty of orc children about because it was like basically downtime. It wasn't wartime, so you've got like orc families about. This is very much like the home life for the orcs, and they're having a bit of a celebration because there are a bunch of new people to the clan, the party, or as honoured guests because they've managed to bring a bunch of like giant spiders heads and stuff like that. And there was a game that the children were playing called Buckle Your Elder. And now, Buckle Your Elder was used to build the confidence of the young, like the very young children of the clan. And what you would do is some of the older orcs of the clan would stand like resolute, like a rock, like an unmovable object. And it was literally the job of the young orclings, I don't know what you call them, the orcish children, to try and get them to double over or like knock them on their ass or something like that. So it would usually be like a gut punch or trying to sweep the leg or try and wrestle them to the ground. But it was called Buckle Your Elder because you're trying to make them buckle and fall over or like double over. So it was a little test your strength. Meant to build up the confidence of younger orcs, but also they keep in check. The older orcs are still giving a fight and not becoming too weak. But yeah, and I will always remember because I introduced this like when they first met the clan, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's hilarious, brilliant, love it," and it was never really mentioned again. And then the group went into the forest and came up against some fey creatures. And now these fey creatures, if you're not familiar with them, were redcaps. Let's see if we can show you a picture of redcaps. Now redcaps are notable for three things. One, the redcap, from which they get their name. Two, the sickle, but also these big, heavy iron boots. So they took on a bunch of redcaps, took their boots because they were weird, and I described them. So of course the party wanted them, but they were too small for anyone in the party to wear because didn't have any halflings, didn't have any gnomes, nothing like that. They're all regular-sized folk. So they had like 2 or 3 pairs of iron boots. So what they did was they took a couple of kids to one side and went, "Here, have these. They're enchanted and will make you stronger." So these kids were then stomping around these massively heavy, comically sized boots for them, and basically used themselves as a battering ram to topple over, like bowling pins, a bunch of older orcs. And then chaos just fucking ensued. Because it's D&D and that's how this shit goes. That's what we love the game for. So yeah, Buckle Your Elder is a fantastic success. And if you've got any party members that think they're big and tough, they will absolutely jump at the chance to be one of the elders and resist being buckled. So it's a good chance to like humble some players without any real stakes. But yeah, that was fantastic fun. Really enjoyed that session. I wish I had more D&D stories. I've played in a lot of like long form games. I haven't played a lot of shorter games. And also I found myself DMing quite a lot towards the like up until like mid last year. Not that I was like reluctantly a DM. I love DMing, but I feel like I don't know, it's a little bit conceited to. I think I did for a little bit. I had the Forever DM curse for a little bit, but then a lot of the people that were in my campaigns started DMing themselves as well. So if anything, I passed it on to them. which is like the most successful thing you can ever ask for as a DM, is to hope that your players start DMing as well. It's like our very own Doom Goblin. I'm not gonna say I was responsible for making him want to DM. He's a storyteller anyway. He loves a good story. Yeah, there he is. So Doom Goblin was brand new to D&D for my campaign, I believe it was. I may have played like a one-shot before, but by and large, my campaign was the first campaign Doom Goblin ever played it. And that ran for, I think, 2 to 3 years, that campaign did. And after, like, in the middle of that, I remember you talking more and more like, I have a story that I could tell, I feel like I could do a thing, I might want to do a one-shot, and then it grew and it grew and it grew into, I'm making a campaign. Apart from muscling in on Maya's campaign one time. It was like that was like the taster of like, I don't know if I'll like D&D. Do I want to make a character or not? Yeah. It turns out no, you fucking loved it. And rightly so. D&D is one of the best like hobbies you can ever ask for. It's an excuse to go and sit with a bunch of mates for an evening. Alright, let's take on this big old thing. Big sweeping lines on this. And it's such a good community as well. The D&D community has really saved my engagement with Twitter, because Twitter by and large can be quite a gross place a lot of the time. But if you fill it with people that are all into like D&D, very quickly you'll find a lot of like creatives start coming out, a lot of queer folk, a lot of creatives and like storytellers, like little tidbits of, oh, if you're running a story, you can do this. It's like, aha, brilliant. On a side note, you hate drawing. Oh, is it not going well for you tonight? Man, that is absolutely valid. Everyone, like, not to like disarm your evening or like tell you everyone gets it, but everyone gets it. Like, there are days where the art juices just are not flowing, and they're the fucking worst. There are days where I'll sit and put like stylus to iPad, and like just nothing will come forward. Oh my god. Bio, you motherfucker. Your whole D&D group is some degree of gay. Yeah, so's ours. I think we have basically we're basically collecting them all. We're the Pokemon masters of queer folk in our group of friends. We're like, I don't think we're doubling up on much at the moment. Me and my partner are both bi, but I am a cis man, and my partner is femme to sort of androgynous. 50 Shades of Gay, get out. Kentrop, my love. Welcome. We're talking D&D and being gay. And how great all of it is. So Bio's been here chilling and tidying notes for the last hour and a half. I wonder why you could smell cooked chicken. Yep, that's a charcoal chicken. I hope you've got like a backup dinner and ready to go. Because we can't have you going hungry. We will send someone round with like a microwave meal. Just basically save a life. But yeah, D&D for me has been a huge like transformative like self-confidence machine. Really, really has. Being able to roleplay different characters and like explore different things has been the fucking best. I was playing WoW Classic, the power leveling challenge for 2 weeks, just to set stuff up. Also started playing that one Mimit was playing. Come back, and I'm not Mimit. No, I'm very not. Slightly different people. Equally lovely, I feel. But yeah, Mimit dropped you off in my care, and we've been taking care of your lurk, like nice, with attending to it, making sure that the tab doesn't close automatically. We've been taking care of it. Yeah, they like, so I suffer from stage fright, so I don't typically I don't like the minutes leading up to being on stage or the center of attention or something like that. So usually, like, my routine for being a DM or going live on stream is like the 10 to 15 minutes beforehand, I'll have like a rising anxiety of, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this, and then I'll hit live, or I'll say last time on D&D, or I'll say what's up motherfuckers, and then it's all gone. Like, it's not all gone, but it's all suppressed by the machine is now moving. I can't stop it and take note of how anxious I'm feeling because it's already moving. And being a DM has helped me manage that immeasurably. Just in sort of playing outrageous characters, in writing things, and sort of being a DM is very much bearing your soul creatively to a very close group of people. So it's a great little like trust circle, being a DM and having a group like that. And it's helped me affirm like my creative outlets a lot more. Having people say like, "Oh, I really enjoyed the session," is like the best thing in the world. So, you know, thanks. I came up with that from my brain space, and you saying you had a fun session means that the stuff that my brain makes is good, and that is one of the biggest anxieties of the entire world that you can have. I feel, especially as a creative, or someone who strives to be creative. So, having played characters that are loud, proud, rambunctious, they will get into trouble, they will never apologize. It is the best, most cathartic thing in the world. And you have the exactly same thing with going live. Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Like I really enjoy streaming. I wouldn't do it, and I wouldn't do it so often if I didn't like it. Like, if I didn't like streaming, I just would not be here. I might be in the audience watching others, but I definitely would not go live. But I do like it. I love it. I think it's a fantastic amount of fun, and way more social than I ever thought it was going to be. But yeah, I still have that sort of anxiety at the back of my brain going, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I'm gonna turn on. No one's gonna turn up, or I'm gonna say the wrong thing, and someone's gonna take it the wrong way, and I'm gonna get cancelled, or everyone's gonna think something nasty of me, or something like that. And then once we're live, as soon as someone says hi in the chat, I'm like, oh, thank God, everything's gonna be fine. I honestly feel that stage fright. I 100% hated public speaking before, and literally the first archery competition that I was a judge for, back when I was a candidate, I was told to think about what I might say for an assembly speech, and then I got told by an internal judge, you know that thing I told you to think about? Yeah, go stand up in front of 300 of your peers and give an assembly speech. Bricks were immediately shat. Oh no, that's horrible. That's such a mean thing to do to someone. Oh, but you survived, and you're on stream now, so hopefully the bricks are being it seems like the bricks are being handled way more. And Kendra, I know I don't stop by too many streams of yours, but I always enjoy having you on screen. You're an absolute wonder to behold. Yeah, I had massive anxiety levels verging on panic before pressing the going live button. Yeah, it's intense for sure. Also, when did you go live? Are you streaming now, Bio? Am I misconstruing something? I think knowing that it's universal helps a lot. And that sort of like imposter syndrome type thing. Something that I struggled with a lot with going to the gym was I didn't want to look like an idiot in front of people because I don't know how to pick up the heavy things real good yet. And knowing that no one else was looking, everyone was too busy doing their own shit, was a huge help. She's known for throwing candidate judges into proverbial traffic. That's a mixed bag. Like she's not the greatest like person to work with, but she's fucking good at it. That's the worst. If you're gonna be a nightmare to work with, the least you could do is be bad at your job, so people can chew you out properly. Not really. It was more of a test run than anything else. The other stuff it was literally live about 5 minutes a week ago. Fair enough. Fair enough. You'll have to let us know if you do start going live with anything. Because we want to love and support you. We want to get in your chat. We want to tell you hi. How you doing? We want to tell you that there's a guy behind you, watch out. And then the chat delay means that advice is completely worthless. Can I show you a really unfortunate D&D thing? Absolutely. Yeah, go for it. I think link sharing is on. I think I have it turned on at the moment. I am not... We'll see, to be honest. I haven't seen the Chronomancer class, no. But that sounds like... I know a lot of people like put that around. But messing with time and stuff like that can be an absolute nightmare for DMs. So I understand why people have been like, maybe not. Yeah. The ability for a player to go, aha, no, it actually doesn't happen like that. Was it Matt Mercer? Because Matt Mercer did the, it wasn't Geomancer, it was the Gravity form of magic for the Whiterun setting. Dunamancy. Get out of here, little advert. Oh, I've been in a UA. Okay. Tasha's Cauldron of Shenanigans. I'm not sure. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, see, I'm doing the same thing. I'm googling and like I've forgotten that my iPad's here. I'm just googling shit. Yeah, Dunamancy was in the Guide to Whiterun, I believe, and that's all about gravity and potential energy and moving things around. So, super detailed telekinesis, basically. Let's have a look about this. This is an unfortunate tweet. Chronal shift. Starting at second level, you can magically exert limited control over the flow of time around a creature. As a reaction, after you or a creature can see within, takes an attack roll. The ability check of saving throw, you can force the creature to re-roll. This makes this decision after you see whether the roll succeeds or fails. The target must use the result on the second roll. So the Spine Devil rolls a 22. Oh no. Hits harder. Fuck. Yeah. That sounds like it's that kind of thing that makes a D&D game, because it was never ever like on the cards of really happening, but then of course it's gonna happen because it's improbable. So I do homebrew. Not homebrew. It's not like massively out there. But I definitely run crits differently because I usually play D&D 5th, just because it's what I started playing with, and it's a lot of fun and it's easy to get into and get people into. But yeah, we do crits to be the maximum you can roll on a dice. So if you crit with a short sword and you roll a d6 to damage normally, you would take the maximum of the dice, which would be 6, and then add that to your damage roll. So it would be a d6 plus 6 plus any other modifiers, just to guarantee that the crit's gonna be big. Because I played a few games and it was the worst thing in the world, the most like flattening thing to have a crit and you go, hurrah, we might be able to do this, or the crit's happened, like here's going to be a big hit, we're going to shift the tides of battle, and then you roll snake eyes on the damage dice, and it's like, what's the point? It's like you valiantly leap across the table and you plunge your sword into the bandit, finding the space in between the leather plates, utilizing all the weight of your body to really push the sword in, and unfortunately the guy steps aside anyway, only doing minor damage. It's like, why bother having crits then? So maxing the dice and then rolling another set is great. I've found a lot of fun and success with that. And something I've seen in older editions is confirming crits as well, and that's also just like, what are you doing? Like, I rolled a 20. Okay, now you have to roll a 20 again to make sure it happens. Like, no, just fuck off. Give the crit. Just give it. Just hand it over. Why are you being so stingy? Yes, yeah, I'm familiar with Planescape, and we're just sort of waiting for D&D 5th to start dishing out more of these classic settings. Which, I don't know, there were some rumblings about D&D 6th edition, like a year or so ago. I don't know what any of that was about, but 5th edition has been so wildly successful, I don't think Wizards of the Coast are in any hurry to dish out a 6th edition. Especially now that they're dishing out like Magic the Gathering settings as D&D settings, which is great because there's a huge wealth of artwork and lore. Just go, okay, now you can play it, like you can be in it. These Tiamat Magic the Gathering cards, I did not. See, I played a couple of games of Magic the Gathering, and it hasn't hooked me, but I respect what it is. Tiamat MTG. Oh, it looks pretty at the very least. There's every form of fucking energy or land, whatever you want to call it. I've played enough Magic the Gathering adjacent games that I know what most of the jargon means. 10-10, fuck me, that's huge. Eminence, as long as Tiamat is in the command zone or on the battlefield, other dragon spells cost 1 less land to cast. Amazing. Flying, whenever one or more dragons you control attack, draw that many cards, then you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. So once Tiamat's out, the game just fucking ramps like impossibly fast. That's brilliant. I have been I bet that went for a pretty penny. I have been looking like, or like not looking, but like wanting a new like collectible card game to get into. Because I used to be really into like Dice Masters and Star Trek Attack Wing, Crossmaster, think it was Ashes, Rise of the Phoenix Spawn as well. A bunch of different games. Star Wars Legacy? Star Wars Destiny, that was it. Star Wars Destiny. Tons of like collectible card games and living card games and like blind booster boxes and stuff like that. But it all got way too expensive. And I was buying stuff to buy it and to have it and not to use it. And that was like, okay, I can't do any more. But so I haven't done any in like a couple of years. But recently I've been feeling I like opening booster packs. It's like a mini Christmas. It's great. There's like that little sort of like gambling kick I've been having like a need to get back into. But I don't have the money or the space to actually get into. And the time is important as well. The money, the time, or the space for like a big collectible card game. But the need is definitely there at the moment for something shiny. That's why I got into the Gatchamon mobile games, where it's like hero collectors. So I played a little bit of Raid Shadow Legends. I played some Marvel Contest Champions. I played Age of Magic as well. And they're all like proper like price gougey, like share it to your friends and get like 10 summon crystals or get your daily login bonuses or things like that. But with a massive roster of heroes. And I can just open like these crystals that don't clutter my fucking house. I have a lot of like energy and patience for him. Because the character design I fucking love. I'm a huge nerd for character design. But also there was all of the the little like ticks of like serotonin in your brain of going, you get the nice shiny thing. It's unparalleled. I'm a complete whore for it. Buying stuff just to have it and not use it. Yep, I was that way with dice as well. And the way I've sort of combated that is when I was still doing comic conventions and stuff like that. I would have a jar of dice on the table, and if you spend over, I think it was like £5 or something like that, then you get a free dice. And people are like, oh brilliant, do you buy these to put these on the table? Specifically, it's like, no, this is just my dice that I want to get rid of. I need to have less dice in my life, and you are doing me a favour. So please get them the fuck away from me. Yeah. I have to stay away from gacha games, be broke as fuck. I'm usually pretty good with like the gacha games and not spending too much. I will every now and again chuck some money towards one of them. Like if I've been like playing a game a lot, then I will chuck some money their way. Just because it's like, you know what? There's devs behind this. Like I might chuck them like £5 a month or something like that. Just every now and again. Just because it's there and I can afford that. I can afford £5 a month usually. So I'd be usually pretty tame with what I bought. But I was never under any illusion that like, oh, this is the pinnacle of gaming. This is the next Last of Us. This is the next like fucking. This is Halo, or anything like that. And I'm like, this is a trash game designed to suck money from your wallet, and that's all it will ever be. But the gambling hit is real. It's amazing. I never got into horse races, or I never downloaded like I never went to like the bookies or something like that. Gotta get the big titty anime girls. You gotta have them. Yeah, the 5-star anime titties. You gotta get them. And you gotta get the whole clan to get the clan to get the set bonuses. And like, if they give you Christmas and fucking Halloween outfits, then Lord Jesus, keep me away. It's one of the things I like about things like Overwatch, because I don't play much or any. I've never played Overwatch, but I do really like all the character designs and the fact there's loads of costumes and things like that. So if you know of a good like costume viewer for like Overwatch, for Apex, or any of these like other like character-based competitive shooters, please let me know. Please link it in the chat because I want to have them. I want to see all the character design stuff, but I don't want to have to suck at fucking playing first-person shooters in able to enjoy this stuff. I don't want to have to grind for 400 hours to get a loot box to maybe get the Halloween skin of stuff. Because I'm not good at those games and I won't put the money in. I won't put the time in either. So if there's just like an online viewer, I'm down for that. Honestly, like, going on wikis and stuff like that is like getting lost in a wiki hole of a good like character-based action game can be like as good as those gambling gacha games. Just going, ooh, what costumes could you unlock? I don't own this game, I'll never play this game, but I want to know, what do you get? What's the angel set look like? What's the hell set look like? What's all that heavy armor look like? I love it. Honestly, it's a problem, I can't get enough. Yeah. I completely understand Bio. It is. I mean, they're designed to prey on that sort of stuff as well. It's don't start a league then, Jesus Christ. Yeah, like it's a competitive game, so already it's a hard sell for me. Even games like Among Us can be difficult for me to get into because it's competitive. Fortunately, Among Us doesn't have much in the way of skins, so I'm not a slave to it. But yeah, so many skins. Like I love unlockable skins. Like that's what I love in video games. Like even like single player ones. Like I want, like I'm playing Mass Effect, and I know that as soon as you do the loyalty missions, you get the alternate color palettes for all of your squad. I'm like, all right, cool. Getting Garrus like up to his maximum like friendliness and being the best buds forever is one thing, but I want Garrus in the black and orange armor because it's fucking cool, and it's like catching a shiny Pokemon. I want that so much. So if you ever want to trap me in a game, just make skins. I'll fucking go wild for them. It'd be a problem if I didn't have like such a tight rein on myself. Every time I manage to escape League, they bring out a new skin for a favorite champ of mine. I'm like, oh no. You have my sympathies. Yeah. Like Breath of the Wild is full of it. I love all the different armor sets that I've been able to find through that. Things like Devil May Cry, back in the day, like 3, I think had a lot of costumes to unlock, just by doing like doing hard mode or doing all like in S ranks, you'd unlock costumes, and like I love that shit. I want more of it. Carrier, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate you using a little bit of your bandwidth to further my goals. Being king of Twitch. But yeah. Something else that sort of satiates that is art books. So like Dark Horse have some fantastic video game concept art books based on like Mass Effect. They've got Fallout, there's some Final Fantasy ones, all sorts of stuff like that. And it's full of all like the costumes that could have been. And I fucking love those. So seeing what like Shepard could have looked like, seeing what Garrus could have looked like, or like here's something that concept artists do is called thumbnailing. I do want to play some Dragon Quest. I bought the first one on Switch. Not all the armor changes the way they look, but some do. Interesting. I'm down for that. So the armor has like categories, which is fair enough. Big RPGs like that, it's understandable that the amount of equipment they have in there, they can't all be represented on screen. I never begrudge that, because this game's just fucking huge. But yeah, thumbnailing is fantastic. I'll see if I can find like an example. I like. And Gareth's thumbnails. Concept art. So stuff like this. Like, this is what I fucking love. It's just seeing all the costumes that could have been. Is fucking brilliant. Like, even though you don't get them in game, but you manage to actually get them in a book. Love them. You ever want to buy me a Christmas present? Just ask which Dark Horse like video game concept art book I'm looking at the moment, and that'll be like the best thing you'd ever get. I might make like an Amazon wish list. I see a lot of like these hot tub stream girls have Amazon wish lists, and I think maybe I'm missing a trick by not having one. Maybe that's the way to go. I think I need to get people simping for me first before people start doing that. So yeah, I've always been a Final Fantasy kid, and I feel like there's always been like a divide of like Final Fantasy and Dragon's Quest. They're both like, it's like your Coke and your Pepsi. It's like Burger King and McDonald's. Like they're two sides of there's like two sides. Like, it's, you either played a lot of Dragon Age as Dragon's Quest as a kid, or you played a lot of Final Fantasy if you're into those games. I played a lot more Final Fantasy, like, so I always knew Dragon's Quest was around. Dragon Quest is almost like the meme game. Yeah, I think because I've now played Dragon Quest 1, like the very first one. On Switch they have like a HD remastery type thing, and I've played that and I had a lot of fun with it. So like I definitely want to play more of them. I think is like the newest Dragon Quest on Switch. Maybe that's a game worth doing on stream. Maybe. And Carrot says, you dress up for all your streams, just don't go on cam. Fair. No, absolutely. There's a psychology behind making yourself like not presentable, but like dressing up for something. It's why I still wear I still wear clothes that I would wear to the office at home, even though I'm working from home. If I wanted to, I could work in my boxers and no one would know. But I still put on jeans and a t-shirt, or I still sometimes put on shoes because it puts me in the mindset to work. So getting dressed up, putting effort into it, almost like puts you into present mode. So I absolutely understand that. I think it's totally valid. But no, knowing Dragon's Quest, but also like, takes the mick is good. Because I love Akira Toriyama's artwork. Big fan of like Dragon Ball, things like that. And I know he's got some pretty heavy involvement. So I've always liked the artwork, but I feel like I've never had the consoles or the opportunity to play it much. So I think is it only recently that those games started coming to PlayStation? Because they were always like a more Nintendo-based series for me. And I never really had much of the Nintendo consoles. I always had a PlayStation as a kid, and even growing up, like had a PlayStation. I know the most recent ones are, but if I remember right, like Dragon's Quest like 1 and a few of those, if I remember right, weren't on like PlayStation consoles. Dragon's Quest. See, there's a wiki page for Dragon's Quest. Is there like a release of like games in the series? Because So now I'm interested again. Let's look at Dragon's Quest media. So Dragon's Quest was released on Nintendo, the NES, Dragon Quest 2, NES, 3, 4, and 3 and 4 were all on NES. It wasn't until number 3, I think it was. No, Dragon Quest 4 was available on the PlayStation, and then 5 was available on the PS2, and then 6 was DS, 7 was on PlayStation, 8 was on PlayStation 2. So yeah, I feel like it was a lot of Nintendo. But yeah, now I have a Switch. Obviously, like I play the ever-living shit out of Breath of the Wild. Lord knows I've got a Switch. I'm tempted to pick it up because it's always been a series I've liked. I've liked the look of, but I've never really taken the plunge. Then I feel like that with a lot of games, really. I'm also a little bit at a loss. Like they're like Final Fantasy. They're not really interconnected at all. Like I'm not going to jump into 11 and be lost. It's much more like it's just here's another story based on the style that we go for. God, they're completely separate. Yeah, that's all right then. I don't have to play like 10 games of research just to get to number 11. Could you fucking imagine? The only continuing thing is like overall setting. No, fair enough. But yeah, I think I was going to sort it out for the 12-hour stream, 12-hour Dark Souls stream, of like basically having a questionnaire out there and seeing what people would like me to play. Because I've got like 4 or 5 games that I would like to play, but it's basically picking what's next. Yeah, I know that the slimes are like a continual thing, in the same way that every Final Fantasy has like goblins, or every Final Fantasy has like the Chimera or the Malboro, things like that. There's hallmarks in each one. So yeah, I'm really like. I feel like I was very lucky to trip into Breath of the Wild as like the first long-form streamed game, because it has such a big cult following. It's really helped me engage with a lot of people and like keep people around and things like that, and actually like arrive on Twitch. So I think I'm spoiled a little bit that it's a game that I wanted to play and a lot of people like seeing. So I feel like it's almost like it's got impossible standards to live up to for the next game. Will be just that little bit more obscure, or like less. People are less hungry for it than they would be with Breath of the Wild. But yeah, hoping you're gonna have the same luck when Baldur's Gate comes up. Probably, I think you'll do fine with Baldur's Gate. It has such like a dedicated following. Now, that game's like been going for nigh on 30 years, I feel. When did the first Baldur's Gate come out? That must have been like 96 or something like that. I'm gonna say 96, Baldur's Gate. 1998. Fuck, I was 2 years out. But I knew it was a long-standing game. And yet people are still hungry for it. Like, that's got such a legacy attached to it. That I think you'll be absolutely fine. It's the same with like Diablo or like Fallout. It's a long-standing like RPG game that like it's one of the names that you just know. I'll go with this bit as well. Just seeing you. I know this thing. I appreciate that as well. I've done that with a few different things in my life. I played Star Trek Attack Wing a lot, like a tabletop ship combat game. Before I'd ever seen an episode of Star Trek proper, and all the cards that we're using for ships and things like that were all screenshots from the TV shows. So it would be like I have the USS, I've got the USS Excelsior, and it would be like I'd be like, cool, its stats are great. I don't know the context of what the Excelsior is. But I'm like, I'm going to put this Riker on it, and it's got Riker like going like this from this episode of Star Trek. I'm like, it's cool, whatever. The ability's good, and culturally, I know a little bit of what Riker is. And then I started watching Star Trek from like original series to Next Gen to DS9, and I sort of be watching episodes, and every now and again, like I'd be watching them, and then like I'd see Riker going. I go, oh, that's the screenshot of the card. I know this now. I understand why. Like, I understand why this game, like, he's been given that ability because it's represented in what he's doing in this scene. This is, I see it now. I see the Matrix. It was ridiculous. So yeah, it was almost like I was doing research for a fucking board game. Yeah, I did it fucking 100% backwards. Because the group of people I was hanging around with at the time were really into it, and it looked like a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun. And I wanted to join in more than I cared about what Star Trek was. But then I started going like, oh, like Star Trek's cool, and there's all these like jokes and references that I'm not going. So let's do some research and get into it. And I found I really fucking like Star Trek. Don't know why I didn't get into it sooner. Yeah. And that's basically the story of how I became a Trekkie. And yeah, finding D&D things in games like that is fantastic as well. Something with my partners found with not Mass Effect, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is all of the references they have in that to a lot of like proper like British culture. And sort of spotting them like a mile off is just fantastic. Like stuff that people aren't going to understand if you're not from the UK. Yeah, I feel like it's a better story than just I watched on TV as a kid, and then that was about it. It was no, I need to learn more about this because I was already involved in Trek stuff before I really gave a shit. Oh my god, isn't it like fucking Leicestershire or something like that? It's fucking grotesque. It's like so I live in Cheltenham in Gloucestershire. So Cheltenham is too young to be in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But Gloucestershire is in Valhalla, and Doom Goblin will echo this as well. But I think it's called something like Gloucestershire, or something ridiculous like that. And yeah, so it's great seeing like these fucking names for built like places that just do not fucking exist anymore in that way. And yeah, they've nailed Britain so much. Yeah. I feel like Harry's leading up to something. It's going to get longer and longer. I wonder if Wales is going to be... it's like phonetically written like Gloucester. But it's Gloucester. That's what it is. It's Gloucestershire. And like if you are like in the States and you are wondering about how to spell Worcestershire sauce, it is just Worcester. It's like a rooster but with a W. It's a Worcester sauce. Because you don't worry about the Shire bit of it. And don't worry about how many letters are in that word. You can ignore most of them. Yeah, it's just Worcester. It's Worcestershire. And it's not Worcestershire. It's Worcester sauce. Don't worry about it. It's Worcester. Because if you drink a straight shot of Worcester sauce, that's the sound you make. It's whoosh. That's all it is. Just, So yeah, if you ever wonder how to pronounce it, it's just woo. Just get excited about it. Just woo, sauce. Yes. So in Gloucester we have Roman ruins that are popping up like every now and again. It feels finding a little bit more and more. Cheltenham is a tad younger. I feel like it's not only Shrek 3. It seems to be like any American. I don't like to generalize like an entire country like that, but it seems to be generally the entire country that butchers it, and almost like gets like an anxiety attack when they have to like mention Worcester sauce. It's just like, God, the unpronounceable. But I found out the other day there is a Worcester in America. Like there is one. So there's a small town out there that doesn't have a problem with it and is okay. The Big W sauce. I like that. I like Big W sauce. Yeah, there's a Cheltenham out there. Yeah, I think most it was all the settling, to be honest. All these Englishmen going over and going, well, we've got a new town. What do we want to call it? Well, I like Cheltenham. I like how it sounds. Should we just make another one? Yeah, sure, it's far enough away. No one's going to get confused. It's not like there's going to be a sat-nav type device that will direct you across the fucking ocean to the wrong fucking Worcester. Woolworth sauce. Sounds grotesque. There's so many bangers. Yeah. I always like seeing like there's like like fucking Birmingham. There's an American Birmingham, which is bizarre to me because it's such a British name. New South Wales. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it as New York. Also, like, if you really think about the name New York and compare it to, like, York, they could not be more fucking different. Like, if you get in, like, two pictures side by side and show you York and New York, they could fucking never be compared. Basically different planets. It's incredible. Yeah, there's something like New York just becomes like one word, like New York, and then York is something, because I feel like York isn't very famous outside of the UK. Maybe like surrounding Europe, maybe. Like the concept of Old York, or just York as people call it, is almost baffling. And it's very much like, why did you choose York? Of all the towns and all the cities that exist in the world, why was York the one you want? Or did you feel like York was not good enough, so you wanted to try again? We wanted New York, a better York, a York that represents the new colonial values. The amount of times I've been on holiday and been like, I'm from Wales, and locals have gone, oh, in England? Like, next to England. Cretins. So I've been to America a couple of times, and I have to admit that everyone I spoke to in America was absolutely fucking lovely. However, there's definitely like a cultural blinker sometimes, because America's fucking huge, and I understand that when there's so much within your own country to see, you don't need to look over borders, you don't need to travel as much, because America basically has every fucking biome on Earth, so you don't need to go abroad to see everything in America. It's so weird. But when I went over there, it was genuinely, people would hear we were English and would say, "Oh, do you know the Queen?" I'm like, fuck, I thought that was just like a really generalizing joke, but no, we got it like a dozen times. It was incredible, and literally like we stepped off the plane, and I feel like the people in the airport were all working and a little bit more well versed, because they deal with people traveling day in, day out. Someone being from the country is not unique to them at all. We hopped in a taxi, going to our hotel, and the guy immediately goes, "Oh, guys, welcome to Las Vegas. You guys are British? You know the Queen?" I'm like, No, we don't. We're not on talking like terms with the Queen at the moment. It's gotten rather frosty. She doesn't return our fucking calls." People ask me where I'm from, and it's like, here, because I'm brown. Oh no. You get... What, do Scousers think they're Welsh? That's bizarre. I've never heard that. That's incredible. But yeah. Never heard of her. Do you guys know the Queen? No. What's a Queen? This is how... Yeah, that's just the Lambrini incident. That is fucking brilliant. But Carrie, something you're referencing there, my mum actually gets it as well. And it's so fucking bizarre, because my mum is like Welsh English, like through and through, like as white as you can be, but she is a bit of a sun worshipper, so she is very fucking tan. And she gets it all the time. People go like, "Oh, where are you from?" It's like, "Oh, I'm from Hereford." I was like, "No, where are you really from?" It's like, "Fucking Hereford." Like, couldn't even like, even if my ancestors or my grandparents had emigrated here, like, to give you an answer of this racist question you're asking me, could not give you an answer, because like, where are you from? Hereford. Where are you actually from? Hereford. Where are your parents from? Also Hereford. What about their parents? Still Hereford. It's fucking... So you have my utmost sympathies for getting that sort of inane fucking shit. And hopefully it's a question that's going to die out, because the world's becoming so much more of a melting pot that you now have like 5th and 6th like generation migrant families that, like, as soon as you get past 1, like, no, you're local. That's it. You're there. You're from there. It's always the tourists. Where are you originally really triggers my fight or flight. Yeah, I don't blame you. It is that sort of thing, like, where is this conversation going to go from here? Like, it can either maintain this very low point, or it can crash even further. There's no way it can go back up. Yeah. Also, like, whose fucking business is it? Like, where are you really from? Like, why do you want to know? Do you not think I belong? Do you think I must be a tourist here? Like, you fucking pay council tax? At this point, I need to pay my council tax. It's a little bit late. Oh, that's quite a good flex. If someone asks you, "Oh, where are you from?" and you just go, "There," you can literally point to it. That must be a satisfying small flex. Just go, literally fucking that corner, idiot. Where are you from? Just starts confusion and a long story. Military child, after all. Yeah, that's like, where are you from? Fucking everywhere, man. Like, it's not a defining characteristic. If you are particularly feeling yourself, you could always just give the shitlord response, like, where are you from? Heaven. I'm from the best place. Yeah, so yeah, it's really fucking bizarre. The kind of people that will actually ask that are so fucking out of touch. It's incredible. But I feel it's a question that's, I hope it's dying. I hope it's dying fast. And I feel it has to be, right? With the amount that people travel these days, like, that question's going to become less and less prevalent. Oh, absolutely. I fully endorse getting mean about it. Absolutely. Like I get the same thing with being bisexual. Of like, people assuming that because I'm bisexual, I'm gonna get as soon as they find out that I'm bisexual, that I'm suddenly a threat to everyone. So it comes from a very different place, but it smacks very similarly of like if a guy finds out, that a straight guy, usually in particular, will find out I'm bisexual, they'll kind of go like, well, don't come on to me, or don't fall in love with me then. It's like, don't worry, sweetheart, you're not my type. Like, I need a boy with them dick-sucking lips. Like, you, sir. Gross. You've got a head like a fucking tennis ball. You're into football. Sir, I have standards. Those standards are arbitrary, and they change by the day. As is true to chaotic bisexual energy. I also just asked them if they're racist if they give me the vibe. That's a power play. I like that. I have an ex-friend who literally hadn't spoken to in years because I told her I was bi, and she said she didn't want me to stay over her house anymore. Like, some people think they're fucking God's gift, and it is so fucking cringe. Like, don't worry. I was never trying to jump in your pants. We don't want to be in your pants that much. Like, there's nothing going on down there that we're interested in. Like, I don't give a shit what your like, if you've got an innie or an outie, but there's a lot more than just the configuration that I'm interested in a partner. Like, slow your fucking roll. It's incredible. The old fucking audacity of people like that. Oh, you don't have to worry, I don't like attractive people. That's good, I like that. Who isn't bi these days? I'm bi-ho and never been interested in someone that isn't obviously into me. For real, I've known I was bi since I watched Kim Possible. The eye-opener. Yeah. Be careful, I might jump you. I would, but that very, like, sometimes just reinforces what they were already assuming about you. Which, to be fair, it gets them to fuck off really quick, which is usually what you want by that point. And finally, someone else that remembers Totally Spies. I fucking loved that show. It was fantastic. It's the pinnacle is the two mirrors to trap a laser, and then to use them both to double the power. It was fucking infuriatingly brilliant. So I've had mixed bags with coming out. If you want, like, I'm gone in like 10 to 15 minutes. So I think it's a conversation to go into in another day, like proper. But I've had various responses, especially to being bisexual, because that seems to confuse people to like, why don't you pick a side? And it's like, well, motherfucker, that is my side. There aren't two sides. So I've had men and women both in relationships like fall apart once they find out I'm bisexual, and they don't understand that I can be into both, like all flavors of people. It's ridiculous. So tragically, like the queer community isn't free of the judgments as well, which is a huge shame for a group that's meant to be like the most accepting in the world, and that like a lot of people just aren't. But yeah, it's a huge thing about like, I don't need you in my life anymore. Like, we're fucking done. Like, peace. Yeah, I think it's weird. Like, especially for bi people, like we have top 3 fucking billing. Like we're like, even when it was just LGBT, there was no LGBTQIA or anything like that, or any plus symbols. Like, there's never been an LGBT without the B. Like, what the fuck did people think it was for? Like, we've been there since the beginning, and people still can't get their head around it. It's bizarre. But yeah, I feel people are getting better. Yeah, we ain't gay enough. Like, there is... The imposter syndrome for being bi is incredible. Like, if I just outright knew that bisexual was a thing, I would have saved myself so much time and energy in school figuring out, like, well, I like Billy's kind of cute. But also, Jodie is cute. So what the fuck is going on there? It technically started off as LG, but then they started making TVs. And they were way better at making TVs than they were fighting for the rights of, like, all queer folk. But no, that's why Spy drinking. I feel like we've peaked in the stream now. We're getting actual spit takes. Like, it is 10-2, and I think there's nothing I can like start and finish now at the moment. No worries, Carriad. Thank you for stopping by and joining in. Always endless amounts of love. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call this to a close as well for tonight. The bi version of gaydar is bi-fi. I like that. Yeah, it's a spectrum. Everyone falls on a various point in the spectrum. If you want to be hardline, straight or gay, then by all means, that's your prerogative. But there's so many people that are basically aggregating themselves into certain groups, just because they feel like outliers. Like, if you are interested in women, like, say for example, I was interested in women, apart from a very, very, very specific flavor of man, then I would still be bi, but it might be so specific and uncommon or just unencounterable that I would aggregate myself into straight. But really, it's bi. It's all bi. Yeah. Physical and emotional attractions are completely separate and never one and the same. And yeah, it's definitely like a struggle sometimes finding a partner that fits both sides of those things. Like, as a body, as a piece of meat, hot as fuck, but I cannot stand that person. Or I would love to spend my life with this person, but physically they just don't do it for me. That's what D&D's for. Absolutely, you make our own. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I look through like my history of D&D characters, and it's basically that. It's absolutely like dreaming of like the dream partner, but also because I'm a huge narcissist, they're just basically versions of me. So that's always a weird one to sort of reconcile. It's like, what's my ultimate partner? Me. I'm into me. Fucking narcissistic asshole that I am. Fuck, I made you too hot. Like, shit. Reality's never going to compare again. Also, Atomic, thank you very much for stopping by, my man. Thank you for the compliment. This one's not even close to being done. But it is about time to be going to sleep for me. It's another school night. So let's see who is about that we can do some radio raids on. I don't know who's about tonight. We have a good few people. Yeah, Twitch is busy tonight, so doubling down. Thank you very much for like choosing to spend some time with me. It's endless amounts of gratitude from me to you. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of other channels you can spend your evenings with. The fact that you've spent it here is fantastic and is baffling. Ooh, wait. Have you found someone that would be a fantastic raid target? Kenelise. I don't know if I'm following Kenelise. Absolutely, let's do it. Playing some RuneScape? Fuck yeah. Well, let's start that cheeky raid. And we'll go over to Kenelise. Actually, no. No, Kenelise has stopped around here once or twice before. I think I have seen Kenelise before. If I haven't followed Kenelise yet, then I'll absolutely rectify that. I gotta complete. I'm part of a few different Discords, and I'm a chronically unsocial person. Oh, you're right. Real life friends as well. Awesome. Like, other than like the Noodle Clan and like the Gaming Bunker, like I struggle to remember where people are coming from. Like, where do I know them from? I'm terrible with names. But yes, thank you very much, guys, for sitting with me tonight, and we'll go to Kenelise, show her some love, and show her some hype in the chat. And yeah, I'll see you guys Thursday for Breath of the Wild. It might be the final. It might be the final Breath of the Wild.